Berlin, a city split in two. On the surface, people went to work, kids went to school, families sat down for dinner. But just below that fragile normalcy, Berlin was the most dangerous chessboard in history. Every alleyway could hide a double agent. Every stranger on a train could be working for the enemy. And every decision made here could spark World War III. This wasn't just another Cold War story. This was the ultimate showdown. CIA versus KGB, locked in a game of cat and mouse inside a city divided by walls, barbed wire, and ideology. Berlin wasn't just a capital, it was the ultimate prize. Whoever controlled Berlin controlled the heartbeat of Europe. For the United States, it was a window into the Soviet Empire. For the USSR, it was proof that communism could dominate even in the West. And for the people trapped between, it was survival. Berlin's geography made it a pressure cooker. Imagine a Western outpost marooned inside East Germany, surrounded on all sides by Soviet power. West Berlin was freedom's showroom. East Berlin was the crown jewel of communism. And in the middle, spies flooded in like ants to sugar. Both sides poured in resources. The CIA set up listening posts, bugged phone lines, and recruited anyone desperate enough to cross sides. The KGB, in return, planted moles so deep inside the West that sometimes even the CIA's own people couldn't tell who to trust. It's hard to overstate how insane Berlin became. Imagine walking into a cafe and realizing the waiter was reporting back to Moscow, or that the student you befriended at university was secretly gathering intelligence for Langley. Taxi drivers, janitors, even priests. Anyone could be turned into an asset. Berlin became the city where truth was the rarest commodity. The CIA perfected dead drops and invisible ink. The KGB trained honey traps, sending agents to seduce and blackmail. And while tourists saw grand boulevards and crumbling ruins, beneath the surface, Berlin was a spiderweb of secrets. Then came the night of August 13, 1961. Berliners woke to find barbed wire slicing through their neighborhoods, families cut off, lovers trapped on opposite sides. Soon the barbed wire became concrete, and the Berlin Wall turned a divided city into a fortress. But the wall didn't stop the CIA and KGB. If anything, it made their work more desperate. The CIA dug tunnels to tap into Soviet phone lines. The KGB unleashed brutal counterintelligence campaigns to smoke out infiltrators. And while people risked their lives escaping across no man's land, the spies risked something else: total nuclear escalation. There were moments when the shadow war nearly blew open. In 1961, American and Soviet tanks faced each other at Checkpoint Charlie, their guns locked, soldiers waiting for the order to fire. For 16 hours, the world held its breath. One shot, and Berlin could have triggered World War III. Then there was the U-2 incident. An American spy plane blasted out of Soviet skies, its pilot paraded on television as proof that the U.S. was lying. Suddenly, intelligence wasn't just about gathering secrets, it was shaping the world's perception of truth itself. By the 1970s and 80s, the rivalry had become almost theatrical. The CIA and KGB matched each other move for move, like master chess players anticipating each other's strategy. But here's the twist. The longer the game went on, the blurrier the lines became. Double agents sold secrets to both sides. Informants lied to protect themselves. Sometimes the biggest danger wasn't the enemy. It was the paranoia inside your own agency. In Berlin, trust was the deadliest gamble of all. And then, the drama reached its peak. Picture Glienicke Bridge, shrouded in winter fog. On one side, CIA officers guarding Soviet spies. On the other, KGB men watching dissidents who had defied Moscow. Slowly, step by step, they crossed the bridge and traded lives in silence. Cameras flashed, but no words were spoken. That prisoner exchange was more than a transaction. It was the physical embodiment of the Cold War's rules. No matter how fierce the rivalry, even the CIA and KGB knew they were playing a dangerous game with boundaries. Push too far, and the world could burn. The showdown in Berlin wasn't one with armies or missiles. It was fought with whispers, shadows, and secrets. For decades, Berlin stood as the tightrope between peace and annihilation. And yet, despite the danger, the city endured. Today, Berlin is united, but its streets still remember the time when every building, every cafe, every bridge could have been the spark for World War III. So here is the question for you. Was Berlin the single most dangerous city of the 20th century? Or was it the ultimate chessboard where humanity narrowly avoided destruction? Drop your take in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and get ready. Because the Cold War was full of hidden battles, and this was just one of them.